Sarah here, hoping to inspire you to be you. Today I'm going to talk about something that I'm sure some of you who know me are wondering why it's taken so long. I'm actually surprised too. We're 70 videos in or so, and I haven't talked about it yet. Any guesses? Any guesses? It actually, I have a ton of content. My mind is just like reeling, just coming up with all sorts of topics. So you have some great content coming your way. But today, we're going to talk about your secret weapon, ladies. And so while my videos are geared toward no particular audience, that I hope to encourage and inspire just about anyone who will listen to be their authentic self, because we all ourselves. We all need to be more authentic and ourselves be more real. So my target audience is people, is you. But today, this is more specifically geared towards married ladies. All you married sisters out there, this one's for you, and maybe your husbands can be encouraged by it as well. I do have to preface, though, that while I might be calling some of you out, and in order to be real, though, hubs, you guys need to realize that it is just me doing my very best to encourage and inspire your wives to be their best selves within the marriage covenant, okay? So with that, I'm sure you all know the direction we're going here, but sex. Here's my motto, okay? And I have to give you some background, and I will. I mean, if you haven't seen my identity talk already, that sheds some light, but not entirely all of it. So, sex. My motto is just say yes. It is. It really is. Okay. So now for the background, my husband comes on the exact opposite of the spectrum. Number one, he's a man. I think that's automatically putting him a 180-degree distance from me. But on the whole sphere of sex and our mentality around sex, and me coming from a place that's completely opposite, is I have the coffee jitters, so I'm apologizing right now if it's a little buggy for you. I'm very excited, have a lot of adrenaline, and I'm also at the beginning of nap time, and that's always an exciting time for me. I have a quiet house for the most part, so apologies for the jitters. I came from a background where sex wasn't gross, but it was scary. And then obviously, as you'll find in my identity talk, it was also, it created kind of an emotional pain in me, okay? I wanted to measure up. I wanted to save myself for marriage, and I didn't. So I automatically had like this distaste in my mouth, a little bit of lack of self-worth, and being raped a couple times, just having a bad experience with sex, and a misunderstanding around the gift of what it really is. And for Dave, he came from a home that celebrated it, and he's a boy, and he experimented as well in his own upbringing and in his college life. And so he was definitely more willing to experiment and explore, and wasn't necessarily discouraged otherwise. So complete opposite spectrum, neither one healthy. His view and my view neither one of them were healthy views of sex, okay? Sex is a gift in marriage, okay? And so I just want to encourage you ladies, okay, while not trying to completely, here's the thing. You try to be me for a second, okay? Because I know this is a topic that's so important to discuss, but I don't have a filter, and it's really hard for me to tiptoe around any subject, but the reason why I thought this was worth bringing to the table was because it is such, it's just a key to a happy marriage. I know you ladies don't want to hear that, all of you, but I know some of you are completely fine with it. But others of you, most of you, you know, you feel the same way I do, okay? Where it's not a chore necessarily, but it's something you don't need. It's something you don't necessarily desire or long for. What I do long for, though, is connection with my husband. This is the way he connects. This is the way most men connect, I believe. Like, they have a physical need to connect this way. And when they aren't connecting this way, they truly feel, I think, empty or full, depending on how you look at it. Gross, Sarah. Anyway, and they also feel disconnected and rejected. We don't want our husbands to feel rejected. I mean, certainly, initiation is key, and it would just light them up, I feel. I really feel it would light them up. But don't go to them in your stained, oversized sweatshirt, probably his sweatshirt, and a green mask on your face. I mean, I'm certain he'll jump your bones no matter what. In fact, isn't it funny how men are such wimps when it comes to the flu, but they have all kinds of energy to jump on that, don't they? But you guys, you can have a little bit more grace, but women, we can't expect grace from our husbands when we're tired or have a headache or it's been a long day or this and that and this and that. Because every single day, let's be honest with ourselves, every single day, we're tired. Every day we're tired, okay? Sex is not like what you see in Grey's Anatomy and in the movies, which unfortunately it's painted all over the media right now, okay? Sex is how we market to people nowadays, unfortunately. And I think that there's definitely an unhealthy view of sex in our culture, for sure. They're missing out, okay? They might think that they're at the top of the world, the top of their game, and, you know, like tallying, having notches on their belt or whatever. Like, there is nothing sweet about that. They have no idea what they're missing out on. Truthfully, coming from someone who did have a season of promiscuity and exploration, and I made it worse, okay? I carried in so much baggage into my marriage because I was insecure in that way, because I was listening to the culture. I was listening to what everyone else thought about sex, that it was just something fun, that it was just something that everyone's doing. And there's just no respect for the body, no respect for the connection and the relationship. It's just, so I feel like we're in a culture inundated with sex, and we have this persona that unless we're like thrown against the wall and panting heavily, it's not gonna be hot, okay? No, it's about the connection. Get over yourself, okay? I'll tell you the truth, and boys, be okay with this, okay? I'm trying to get you laid, all right? 5 minutes, girls. You have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes, and if it takes them longer, 10, 15, it's not gonna take an hour. You might even get breakfast in bed the next day, but don't expect it. Don't expect it. In fact, have zero expectations around this, okay? No expectations, that you don't give to get, okay? Let's just take that right out of your mind right now. Our motivation should not be what will we get out of this, but I can tell you, you will have connection if it's not the first time, second time, because they might be a little thrown off. Wait, what's happening right now? I'm not suddenly more desirable than I have ever been, but you're being intentional, you're taking initiative, they're being seen and appreciated and revered. That is all the things that a man needs to feel. Remember how I said a wife has power, more power than she knows with her husband? You can use it for good. You can use it for good. And you know what? That 5, 10, 15 minutes that you put into this relationship, that you took the time to connect and got over yourself, okay? It's too light in here. It's like, girl, you rock what you got. Your man thinks You loving yourself is more attractive than you hiding, than you shrinking down, okay? And don't sit there and say it's easy for me to say, okay? That's not fair, because I have those struggles too, okay? I do. So I feel like you rock what you got, and I'll tell you, that kind of confidence, it's going to be hard to keep that boy off you. And I know that's not what you want. But what I am saying is, because the last thing we want at the end of the day or in the morning is, I'm going to have kids all over me. I'm going to have a dog all over me. Everybody wants. Everybody needs something from me. Well, guess what? This is worth investing in. Your marriage comes first. Your man comes first. And this is just the way he was made. You can't hate on him for that. You can't hate on him for that. That's how he is wired. Okay? And not all men are wired this way. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the majority. I would say there might be a handful in the entire world that's not wired this way. Okay? I talked about the love languages a long time ago, and I kind of joked that most men are physical touch. Like, that's their love language. Half kidding, but very, very real. Very true, I think. Okay? So I think us ladies need to understand the power that we have. We need to harness the power for good. Let's initiate sometimes, okay? Take the mask off. Take the sweatshirt off. Work hard to make a minute for him. Put the kids in front of SpongeBob. I don't even like SpongeBob, but whatever keeps them away from your bedroom for a minute. More, I know it's longer. I'm just saying, guys, come on. That it'll be such a gift. And it might, if it's been a long time, okay, there's a joke that says, if you want to stop having sex, get married. Ouch. Ouch. You have no idea the kind of gift you guys will experience if you just hang it up. Because I'll tell you, I gave you a little background, right? I made it very difficult for our marriage by feeling like, can't you just understand where I'm at? Can't you just give me some grace? But I wasn't understanding where he was at, okay? And boys, I'm sorry, they have PMS too. I'm not sure what you would call it, but it may be PSS, pre-sex syndrome. And that pre part could be extremely long, unfortunately, for some guys. And I'm sorry, I get an attitude when I have to wait. Nobody likes to wait, right? And then you get discouraged in the waiting because it's so long, and she just doesn't understand me. She doesn't care about me. She doesn't see me. She doesn't even think I'm attractive anymore. They're competing too. Whether they're aware of it or not, they're competing too. And I'm sorry, those rom-coms are just as bad as pornography for the mind of women, okay? Pornography for men is a psychological thing. Rom-coms are too, okay? So they're comparing themselves to the man character in these rom-coms, these 2-hour shots of a good love story. Well, what you have available to you in your own home, under your own roof, is a love story that you're not willing to put into. What you don't see on those movies, hello, they're an hour and a half, 90 minutes. You want to talk about filtered. You want to talk about a facade. It's not real, you guys. It's not real. Create a moment, create a special time with your husband. Get it on, see what happens, but make it an effort. At least once, start with once a week. It's not gonna kill you, okay? For a time, I went from never to every 36 hours because I was determined to make my man feel better. And you know what? I started to enjoy it. It didn't become it started as a chore. It started as another thing for me to check off my list, but it became connection for me too. I liked filling his cup. I liked empowering him and making him feel loved and respected in that way. Like when we see them, when they feel seen and revered and appreciated, that's all great, but there is connection in having sex with your husband. It's the way they connect. So I'm going to encourage you today, be the best you. Be the best wife that you can be in your marriage. Initiate. Appreciate. And get it on. I'm telling you, you'll be thankful you did. Please trust me, I have the biggest heart for this, and I didn't always like sex. I like it now. because I have the right mindset around it. You will too. Have a little faith, okay? Your husband, if he doesn't show you right away, he will soon. But don't have expectations. It might just be his continence. It might just be the way he carries himself. You'll have so much pride in your man when you see that there's like color coming back to his face and his chest is puffed out a little bit more because of the power you have and the way you harnessed it and used it for good. Okay? I know you can do this. So let's see how many babies we can make tonight. Is there going to be a baby boom if we like count it back to, I know some of you are done. Heaven knows I'm done. Sometimes I have a little baby fever, and if God wants that, then I will welcome it. Dave might travel more, but I will welcome it. I'm just saying, I think we should try to have a little baby boom though, right? Just kidding. But seriously though, let's see some rosy-cheeked men and some smiles on our faces, okay? You're gonna do your marriage a real service, you guys. I believe in you. I believe in your marriage, and I believe you want your marriage to be the best it can be, just like yourself. So I'm encouraging you to do that today. There's only one you. You, be the best you, keep growing, and I hope that I get to be on this journey with you. Take care.